All right, Happy New Year, everyone. Pause the video here if you want to read the explanation there of what my list means. All right, let me get that out of the way. This yellow line on the SPY chart, by the way, I'm bringing you this video while on my treadmill that goes underneath my standing desk. You know, New Year's resolutions and all that, although I use it on a fairly regular basis anyway, but you know, January 2nd, I've got to be on the treadmill. So if you hear the background noise, that's what it is. All right. So we've got this yellow line I drew was the opening print for 2015 for the SPY, and you can see where we are now. After all that entire year, we basically almost closed flat, just down a little bit, which to me is just a testament to how much more profitable trading is versus buy and hold, right? You bought the SPY on January 1st, 2015, you're actually a little bit red, where if you can spend your day in front of the computer, pick and choose your trades, for me, no overnight holds, you can do a heck of a lot better. All right, so enough of that. Let's see what we have here. All right, just to clarify here too, who knows what to expect around the end of the year. If I go to a 5-minute chart, you can see that there's underlying things taking place, right? Who knows why 8.4 million? I mean, I'm sure a lot of fund managers would explain why in the last 5 minutes you had that volume and that sell-off. Was it end of year tax sell? I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? There's so many theories. I don't really care, but we have the holidays behind us, right? It's Christmas, New Year's, it's all behind us. I don't expect massive volume on Monday, but it should certainly improve over what we've seen over the past week. Okay, so we get the holidays behind us, and now basically I'm in that mode where new setups are going to form. Okay, we'll see what leaders emerge next week. Or I base all of my trading on high relative volume, which usually is born out of news in the individual companies. Okay, so who knows what's going to emerge next week as far as great news, and then we can play the first pullback and so on. But coming into the new year, I'm starting with a small list here because new plays are just going to develop once we get our volume back. Sorry, there's my 30-minute timer to remind me to do my push-ups. New year, you know how it goes. So I'm not that in love with this list, but I am really excited about the upcoming year. In the chat room, we have added several things to look for, several new strategies, so there shouldn't be too much time go by on any given day where somebody's not finding a setup. Okay, we've really expanded some of our setups, and I'm really excited to implement them throughout the year. One thing I'm going to talk about, and then I will go into the list, and I tweeted this on StockTwits this morning, and I'll just read it verbatim. How much better would your year have been, talking about 2015, without your 5 worst days? Because that's, over the years I've learned, that's what hexes most traders that have spent some time and put some effort into learning to trade, right? Let's get the microphone back a little bit here. That's what hexes most traders is you learn setups, you learn money management, and you become a decent trader, but then still you have that one day every few months or something where you erase several weeks worth of gains, or a month, or maybe your whole year. That is what separates consistently profitable traders to me. Once you learn the basics of trading, all right, that's what gets most people. And I think most of you hearing this are probably nodding your head saying, yep, if I could just have taken my 5 worst days away, I would have had a really good year. I don't know, I'm not going to spit out a figure, but my 5 worst days, if I add them up, could have had a nice motorcycle, maybe even a car. So who knows? I'm talking about a new one. That's something that I think, if I could give any advice to myself, what I'm going to try to do this next year, and I've always had a daily loss limit. Okay, it's gone up over the years because my daily gains have gone up over the years. So when you start making X amount a day and you're doing it on a consistent basis, you can give yourself a little more wiggle room on the downside. But my 5 worst days, I blew out my daily loss limit by ignoring it, thinking somehow I'm above trading rules or something like that. So that's my own resolution this year, is to honor my daily loss limit no matter what. Okay, so if I can just keep it to that, my year will be even much better. All right, so I also want to trade a little bit more. I want to take smaller position sizes throughout the day on clean pullbacks to buy zones, and try to let those work until the close, because usually I get my daily goal in the first hour and I just quit, and I feel like I'm leaving a lot of money on the table. So I'm going to shift around my position sizes for the rest of the day trading on days that I'm going to trade all day, and try to add to my gains without risking giving back my morning gains, right? So, all right, enough babbling, but those are some things I'm thinking about for the new year. That and no more battling with Twitter trolls. I'm not going to spend 1 second on them. Not that that matters to many of you, but that's just something else. All right, let's see. INVT. All right, this one had a really big move back here in early December, then just tailed off, nothing happened, and then even bigger volume on this move. Now you've got a couple days lower. So I like this one a lot for potential bounce. CNIT, this one, nice move here. Nice secondary move from $1 all the way to almost 250. And now we're down here near the 20-day. Time to watch this one for a bounce. So that's CNIT. Remember, I don't take any of these at random. It all matters, what's going on with that stock on an intraday basis. I look for intraday setups that are based on these daily charts, okay? And then in addition to that, I will not fight the SPY. So let's just say CNIT is giving me a perfect bounce play setup, and the SPY is ripping to new lows. I still don't take it, okay? So every decision I make happens on an intraday basis in real time, okay? FXCM, this is just one, it's made such a crazy move that I have, as a day trader, I have to have it on a chart. I'm not going to sit here in this video and say, hey, if this gets down to 1380, I'm all in. There is no spot picked out for me right now. I'll have to watch it trade. But just having this one on a chart, you might get a red to green one of these days and just, a $2 or $3 move in a blink. So keep this one on watch, but I don't have a crystal clear setup or entry idea. CMRX, now a lot of people would look at this, and maybe rightfully so, and say, okay, gap down, then it went up for a few days. Now you've got a topping tail, and it's, this news is going to sink in and it's going to come back down. And I don't know if it's going to, but it's had a lot of excitement about it in the past. I got to take that gap out of there by scooting the price over. Okay, so it's had a lot of excitement. I think this right here, and these are 15-minute candles, this right here is where news came out about insider buying. It's a really big purchase, I believe, I think by the CEO. Don't email me and cuss me out if I'm wrong. I don't remember. I'm just going by memory here. And a director had a small purchase, but I think it was the CEO had a really big purchase, somewhere in the sevens. So it got an excitable move, if you will, the end of that day, and really held up well, and then gapped up on Friday and ran, but then kind of tailed off. So because of this huge gap, okay, and then decent news where insiders were buying big down here after the gap down, and this was $35, this is why I'm going to watch it for a potential long, really all next week. I need to see it set up again. Okay, CMRX, that's, where are we? LEI, another one that had just an insane move. I wasn't trading Friday or Thursday. Friday was a holiday. I took Thursday off. But when you go home and scan, and you can see this is insane. From under $2 to over 10.50, settling in at 7.30. With this kind of move, I suspect when you go back and look at the volume the days before, 8,000 one day, 10,000 one day, 12,000 one day. So I suspect this is, even with this kind of volume, is going to be pretty spready. So it's something that I'm more interested in bidding for at an intelligent intraday area than I am trying to play a red to green or something like that. But we'll see. This one, again, whenever you get a move like this, if you're a day trader, you have to have this one on a chart really for the next couple weeks. I don't know if I'll catch a trade in it tomorrow, but I bet you I make money on it sometime next week, right? So patience and having it on a chart are two really important ingredients. RWLK, really big move here, and now you're down, like, let's see, there's a 1, 2, I'm talking about the high of the day. So this is where it peaked, 1740. Then the next day had a lower high, no, lower high, lower high, lower. So you got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lower highs. It did close above its open on Thursday. So and a nice bounce off the 8-day moving average. So this is another one that's kind of interesting to me. It's also spready and a nasty trader. If I had to give a price, and who knows how the market's going to open, so that's going to affect everything I say too. But the high on Thursday was 1487, and you got an afternoon lower high of 1477, right? So if this gets over this afternoon lower high, 1478, you would think, okay, it's going to break, Thursday morning's high, and you could get another quick dollar or two move. You never know with this. RWLK moves big, and it had pretty big news that started all this. Okay, so that's one to keep an eye on. Just remember, it's not that easy of a trader. And then GIGA had this gap up and a rally, but then it came back down, and now it's found really nice support around the $1.50 area. It's really held there well for a couple weeks. Tried to break out on Wednesday, and then there's just no volume in the market this holiday week. So Thursday kind of came back in. Didn't you still have great support here from the week before. So let's go to 15-minute candles real quick. Yeah, I mean you can. Doesn't even really look like candlesticks when you have a thin volume market and already a lower volume, lower flowed stock. Candlesticks aren't very clean. You have to switch to a longer time frame, like a 60-minute chart, to have it even be clean. But you can see it. A decent little close. I like this one as a potential. I'll call it a bounce play because what I look for in a bounce play is something that because it was red on Thursday. So on Monday I look for maybe a narrow range for a while and then an upside break. And let's just say you get that. Let's say it opens at $1.62, trades in a dime range or a nickel range, and then breaks its high. Then you have other catalysts, which would be Thursday's high of $1.82, a break of Thursday's high, and then the high of the ramp on Wednesday, which would be $1.86. And then who knows, right? There's not a lot in the way. So again, you want to be careful with these lower price stocks. Don't get too big. A lot of people have a tendency to think, oh, I've got to buy 10,000 shares. Don't do that, okay? But it's a decent setup. Coming out of decent support and a pullback on a pre-holiday trading day after a nice spike, this one could make a pretty big move, so keep that one on watch too. And you know what? I'm going to leave my list at that. I'm not, like I said, there'll be plenty of setups that form, and there's plenty to watch here. Hopefully we'll find some nice gap plays in the chat room as well. So enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend, and we'll see everybody on Monday.